Degree apprenticeships are undeniably the future. In this video, I'm going to cover the following topics. Why should you apply? How should you apply? Where should you apply? And how you can apply to get the best chances. And I'm going to add my experiences so far, given the fact that I'm in my first year for degree apprenticeship. If you want to skip to a particular part of the video, the timestamps are currently being displayed. So to begin with, question 1. Why should you apply to degree apprenticeships? Degree apprenticeships is the model of education that will inevitably replace the typical university courses. They are growing exponentially in popularity and are quickly becoming available in all fields. The long-reigning conventional university system has many flaws that degree apprenticeships solve, because in degree apprenticeships, I'm going to look over there, you do gain real experience, earn a salary, get your tuition covered by the government, avoid all types of loans, and to top it off, you get a fully recognized degree as well as a full-time job offer in the field that you're working in at the end. So that almost seems too good to be true, but it really is true. Someone who has taken a degree apprenticeship will be much more qualified to get into the workplace, because an apprentice is placed directly into the workplace and they're given like a metaphorical shield around them that protects them from any blame for anything, because at the end of the day they can just say, sorry, I'm an apprentice, and everyone is okay with that. It's like, as an apprentice you're expected to fail and do this and that, but everyone supports you the whole time. When you apply as a graduate and you go into work, you don't have that same shield. You're actually expected to work at the full level immediately, even though as a graduate you actually probably don't have much experience in the field. By experience I mean actual working experience. Of course you might have theoretical knowledge that is completely beaten by practical knowledge and experience. The thing that attracted me the most to degree apprenticeships is the fact that it's practically based. But actually what attracted me more than that is the fact that it's debt-free. And that's really important for me, and it should be for those who are Muslims out there, because you might know of the term riba,
which means taking student finance and stuff like that. Could be, with some schools of thought, is haram, and in fact that's actually the majority opinion.
But I digress. So degree apprenticeship is a way to avoid all of that. So what I was saying earlier, practicality, I think practicality is definitely, in most fields, you want to learn whatever you're learning in a practical sense. I know things like medicine, you might want to learn that first through theory and then apply it practically. But for what I'm doing, like software engineering, you 100% want to do it practically, because you don't want to learn the theory behind software engineering. You want to just do it, and then the theory would just come with it naturally. Moving swiftly on to question number 2. When should you apply to degree apprenticeships? Definitely apply as soon as you can. I'd say about mid-October you should start looking, and definitely by December you should have applied to at least a few by then. You should start applying way before you even apply for your universities. By the time you're applying for uni, the deadline for a lot of these degree apprenticeships are already closed. Now moving on to question 3. Where should you be applying? There are many ways to apply to degree apprenticeships. I'd say the best way is to just simply search level 6 degree apprenticeship into Google, and then you'll find a bunch of companies that are offering it. And you go through the website and go directly through the website basically and apply there. But there are also like other places, like you can apply through the government website, you can apply through Indeed. Indeed is a good one as well. Also there's another way, you could just search up a company name and then see if that particular company is offering degree apprenticeships. I'm going to put some text up on the screen to show where I've personally applied, but not everywhere. You know, I've applied to a ridiculous amount of places. So, and also just a quick tip, even if you don't want to work for a particular company, still apply so that you can learn the interview process, the application process, and build your confidence, because you can use these skills later on for companies that you actually do want to work for. I personally still apply to investment banking companies, and my friends even apply to companies that make missiles, and we know that's haram. So we still applied just to learn the application process, but we withdrew our application later on. So that's what you could do yourself for companies that you don't like. Question 4 is, how should you apply to get the best chances of getting in? Build your background with free online courses, as this will highlight you from the rest of the candidates. Master interviews by practicing commonly asked questions. What I mean by that is search up the most commonly asked questions, top 10 commonly asked questions. Make a pre-written answer before you go into your interview or over the week. Keep practicing those pre-written answers. When it comes to your interview, you will have so much confidence because what they ask, you already know how to answer it. And even if it's a slightly different question they ask, you already have a whole bank of answers and you can kind of switch between each answer and get a bit of information from each and ultimately give a really good answer to each question. I should have said this first, but create an incredible CV. This is the first thing the employer sees. The employer knows that you're just a student coming out of A-levels or whatever you're doing, so they know that you won't have much experience, but the experience that you do have will really stand out. Apply to as many apprenticeships as you can. Personally, I applied to 32 apprenticeships, and that's probably not even all of them. A hidden benefit to doing this, just like preparing the interview questions, this will build your confidence highly. The employers are looking for confidence, so if you're confident, you will definitely stand out. When you get declined from places, and notice how I'm saying when, because it's only natural to get declined from some places. I got declined from basically everywhere that I applied to. I only got into about 3 places, so trust me, it is natural to get declined. Don't take it to heart. Furthermore, just to remind you again, I mentioned earlier, apply to places you don't even care about, because that will once again help you with learning the application process and gaining confidence. A quick bonus question that I might have answered earlier implicitly is, can you still apply to conventional university courses and simultaneously apply to degree apprenticeships? Yes, you definitely can. I done it myself. I applied to all my 5 options and I still applied to a bunch of degree apprenticeships, because with degree apprenticeships, I mentioned earlier, you do apply to degree apprenticeships through the company's website directly. I personally still applied to university, all 5 of my choices, just to gauge where I stand. Only one degree apprenticeship I've encountered that is through UCAS, and that's PwC, so be careful with that. So don't use up all of your choices if you want to save some for PwC. Moving on to the final section of the video, I'm just going to talk about my experiences and thoughts so far, given the fact that I'm in my first year of a degree apprenticeship. At the beginning, I'm going to be honest, I was actually on the verge of quitting, because think about it from my point of view. I moved out in the middle of nowhere. So that's pretty much the end of the video. I would like to recommend the video that I made before this, which is avoid university at all costs, because I talk about degree apprenticeships in that video, as well as exploring other options that you could take instead of university courses. Anyway, Assalamu alaikum.